today's session. I believe you are being blessed by these videos. Subscribe, share the link with a friend. Make sure that you press the button for every alert to be sent directly to you. Today we are going to touch on a very interesting topic, time. We have been on a Young and Single series, and we have been discussing several topics that touch and bother young ones. Today I'm talking about time. Time as a resource is one vital resource everybody has in the same measure. The child, the adults, the rich, the poor all have 24 hours. The difference between each of these people is what you do with the time. For a young one, many young ones have the luxury of time. Sadly, they don't know they do. One, they may be too young to appreciate it. As they grow older, they carelessly never really value time as a resource. If you ask a young one to choose between money and time, the child will quickly take money and leave time. I would ask you a question. Think deeply about it. How much do you want to be paid for an hour today? What is your value for an hour? People are earning $500 for an hour, others are earning $1,000 for an hour, others are earning millions an hour. And so if you ask for a person's time, you've asked for a vital resource which that person has. Now, one thing you must know about time is time cannot be saved. You can only spend it. As you are watching this video, you are spending time or investing time to acquire knowledge. In terms of legal tender, someone said, yesterday is a cancelled check, tomorrow is a promissory note. So yesterday is gone. The only time you have is today. Tomorrow, it's a promise. There's no guarantee that you would have it. And so, what should you do as a young one? Convert time. Any time not converted is wasted. As you spend 10 to 15 minutes watching a video, you are either spending or investing. Because if you pay attention to the knowledge being given to you and use it, then you have invested those 15 minutes profitably. But if you are going to use 4 hours to read posts, laugh at videos, and do nothing with it, and it adds nothing to your self-development, your opportunities, then you have wasted it. Martin Luther is a great man many people refer to. He said there are 2 days, today and that day. That day. What you do with today is very important. What you do with that day is when it comes and what you would do. So your life is a function of how you have spent your time. The opportunities you have today is a function of how you spent your time. We all have 24 hours. However, some buy other people's time, and others waste other people's time. How do you buy another person's time? Every time you write an application letter to work in somebody's company, you are going to sell your time. 8 hours of your time is spent working for a salary. Somebody bought your time. The owner of the company bought your time. He was willing to pay you $1,000 a month for those 8 hours. And you felt that that $1,000 was enough for the 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, for a month. Have you seen how you have valued your time? Another person plays golf on Monday mornings, even Tuesday mornings, and still earns money, So he is using his time to relax because he has bought other people's time. So if that director or that boss buys 10 people's 8 hours, he has 80 hours of work to achieve a certain level of productivity. Others see that same time not just as being sold, but as being invested. Look at it from this angle. I am not saying don't get a job. No, don't get me wrong. You could get a job because you just need the money. That way you are just selling your time. But you could do both. You could get a job, improve your career, develop yourself, and then rise in knowledge, become better in terms of qualifications. Then you are grateful to that employer for giving you that opportunity to work in his company. So that way, yes, you've sold your time, but you've also invested your time. Some people only sell their time. They don't invest their time. And I'm trying to emphasize on investing your time and turning it into things that will be beneficial. When you are young, usually unmarried, you are single, you have time in excess. When you grow older and you are married with responsibilities with children, it's usually a little more difficult to find time. Time becomes a scarce resource. And so, now that you are still very young, now that you are agile, now that you have 24 hours, most of which belongs to you, apart from the hours you spend in school, learning, you are investing that time, the extra hours for your homework, for your skill acquisition, those hours that you are wasting watching people's status, that you are wasting laughing unnecessarily, chit-chatting, start converting them. Use them to develop certain skills, use them to read a book, use it to pray. How many hours do you pray a day? How many hours do you read your Bible? All this is time being converted. You can't compare yourself to your friend 5 years down the line if you didn't use your time the same way. So the difference between you and your colleagues in the next 5 years will be a function of how you use your time. Yes, there may be other things like advantages, opportunities that they may have, but the use of your time will make a big difference. I want to end today. Today's been very short, but I want to end today with an article I wrote a few years back. It says, think deep. The slow ticking of the clock eventually culminates into minutes, hours, days, months, and years. Many don't value the seconds that they have lost, but they recognize the hours when it is gone. Some ignore the hours and suddenly realize a day is gone. Others allow the days to pass by, hoping to catch up, and realize too soon that year is gone. Those who value the seconds will value the minutes, the hours, the days, the years. The truth is that time that is past is gone. And unless you have previously arrested it by converting it into something useful like knowledge acquisition, rendering a service, praying and fasting, pursuit of goals, wealth creation, spiritual growth, winning souls, then you have just allowed a valuable resource to slip by. Friends, don't let the seconds go by unused. Convert them into useful products. That's your most valuable God-given resource. I'm grateful that you have spent time to listen to this video to this point. From today, do what I call and what I learned is called a time inventory in 24 hours. Start documenting what you spend your time on and realize the things you are wasting time on, and start valuing time like you value wealth, gold, assets, the things that are valuable to you, and begin to use your time judiciously. And you realize that as you convert time into the products you really want, you'll find out that you're actually a really, really wealthy young person. Dear young one, I've enjoyed coming your way once again. My name is Abrahams-Appiah. Subscribe, share the link, and encourage many young ones to join and learn on the Young and Single series. Thank you.